Fern in the morning. Dixonia. Happy customers. That's Dixonia, and that's Greg. Say hi, Greg.
Hi.
And that's Patty.
Hi.
They're the proud owners of a beautiful 1913 vintage Craftsman in Berkeley, California. Are we in Oakland or Berkeley?
Oakland.
We're in Oakland, California, right next to Berkeley. The campus is right up there. We got all kinds of cool things to see. We're gonna do a little garden tour when we're done. But first, we have to successfully plant this beautiful Dixonia, which came from Kensington.
Did it?
It did.
Okay.
And it lived up there for many years until people were like, well, we don't want it anymore. I'm like, okay, I'll take it. So I saved it.
Thank
Yeah.
you, because
Great job.
we wanted a big mature.
It could be in the landfill if I didn't go get it. It was a big, I'll show you the video. It was way back. We had to crane it way out. So, all right, here we go. Let's get this job done. Then we'll do a garden tour as promised. There goes Ricardo. Beautiful walnut tree coloring up, and there's a giant Quercus agrifolia oak back there. Turn it around, spin it. There you go. We'll go right under it. Go under the lights, nothing but that. Woo. No problem. Big oak. So it's always interesting digging your holes for a little bit of geological study. And here is no different. We have rounded river rocks. Isn't that interesting? There's a big one down here somewhere, I remember.
Yeah, let me get it out.
There, big rounded river rock. See that? Wow. Let's see here. Let's do a little lesson in geology. Why would there be round river rocks here in Berkeley, Oakland area?
It would have to be some type of water, or creek, or river or something.
Right.
Down, something maybe?
This used to be literally where the river was at some point in the past. It's about 18 inches down. Suddenly we hit a whole bed of these rounded rocks. So believe it or not, these people used to live right on the river. Sadly, the river's not here anymore, but there's probably storm drains and everything. But it's really hard to say how long these rocks have actually been here. And the riverbed shifted at some point, like they always do. And but it does give you some really fun information as to like what occurred in your hole before you made it a hole. And in this case, it used to be a river. Isn't that fun? Or at least a big creek coming out of the Berkeley Hills. So I thought that was an interesting tidbit. Did you find that interesting, Ricardo?
Actually, I did, because as soon as we started, not soon, but when we started finding the river cobble, he pointed it out. So
that's
pretty
right.
Awesome, yeah.
Because I'm a geology geek, as they say.
Scary Harry Gary.
Scary Harry Gary getting down with the geology. So Ricardo.
Yeah.
I actually have a new name. I've added to my name.
Okay, let's see it.
It's not Scary Harry Gary anymore.
Okay, what is it?
I want to see your reaction to this.
All right.
It's Scary Harry Gringo Gary.
What about Scary Harry Gregorio?
Scary Harry Gringo Gregorio Gary.
There you go. That
that
sounds
one?
better. Yeah.
That's pretty long. I don't know. I like Gringo Gary.
That one's cool too.
I might start going by that. That might be my. You can become anything you want now. You can change your given birth name to any name you want, And, that's how I'm going to identify as a scary, hairy gringo Gary. Gary Gregg's way too boring. And it's hard to say.
In my phone book, you're saved under Scary Harry Gary.
Now you got to change it. Scary, hairy gringo Gary.
Yeah, that's going to be longer.
All right. Get all straightened out. Those blowers in California, you can't hear a single word. What?
Oh, I think it's gorgeous.
You like it?
I absolutely love it.
It's going to totally fill out more. It doesn't have a lot of foliage right now, but it will soon. Okay. It's got a ton of new growth on the roots, which means it's building up a whole bunch of energy to flush out.
Okay.
So, yeah.
If it stays as is, I'm thrilled.
Oh yeah, no, it should. Yeah, it's not gonna.
It's really.
But it's got this cool lean. I'll show everybody. So it's got the artistic lean right here, and see the little lean on the trunk. So it looks severely leaned on the bottom, but on the top it's totally straight, meaning right here. This is what we want to be straight. I wanted the romance of this tree fern growing out away from the building and leaning out over the tree. So you can set up your little chair right here and sit under the tree fern. That's the idea. Isn't that fun?
Plant around it. As an understory.
Gosh, all kinds of things like maybe a philodendron xanadu. Remember that name? Maybe some impatiens would be nice. Plant called Virginia, which is really good. Liriope would be good. There's a whole bunch of things. Yeah, come on down to the nursery and we'll set you up.
Okay.
But we're gonna do a garden tour real soon here. Who wants a garden tour from Patty and Greg? Who's leading the tour? You're Greg. Patty's doing it. Patty's the plant lady of the family.
I am a plant lady.
All right, let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. I like your moose.
Yes, we brought him from. That was a wedding present that Greg got me. Oh, it was a Christmas present.
Did you guys grow up here in the area?
No, I'm from Colombia, South America.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, raised in the U.S. and then Greg's from Ohio.
Oh, okay. We got to sell you some Colombian plants.
Yes, I mean this is why I like tropical plants.
Yeah. This one's from New Zealand and Australia, but my favorite one from Colombia is Ceroxylon alpinum.
What is it?
It's the ceiling wax palm.
Oh yes.
The super tall ones.
Yeah, we've been to Colombia and there's a valley of them. Cora or something like that. I forget.
Yeah, they grow up to like 10, 11,000 feet.
Ginormous.
And they thought that it goes like 200 feet tall. Like we have big Mexican fan palms. I'm sure there's some on the street. The people think, oh, those are so tall. Yeah. It's like those only get half as tall as the Colombian ceiling wax palm. Those get up to 200 feet. And when the Spanish first came to the Americas, that was the tallest tree in the world that any Europeans knew about.
Is that right?
Until they made their way up here and saw the redwoods.
Wow.
But that didn't happen until I don't know, quite a bit later.
Okay.
And so like 200 or 300 years later. But yeah, let's check it out. So
the previous owners did all of the landscaping. I think they did a pretty good job. This was a chicken run actually back here.
Oh, okay.
So we had to take the chicken wire down, and we've planted foxgloves and some oxalis. The oxalis hasn't done great. The foxgloves have.
Yeah.
They're just all cut down right now.
Right.
And then
I love the old walnut tree here.
Yeah, the walnut tree is pretty cool.
So this is interesting. I mean, here, do you know why the walnut tree is black on the bottom?
It was grafted?
Yeah, exactly. This is the California native walnut on the bottom, which is super root hardy here. And this is the English walnut on top, which makes a much larger, to the typical walnuts that you buy. But the black walnuts are smaller. They're really hard and dense to get to, but they're really rich.
Right.
And
we
they're
have
really
never
good.
tried a single one. The squirrels get them every single year before we can get them at all.
Yeah, and I was telling
7 years.
I was telling Patty there is a compound in walnuts that in the leaves and the tissues of the walnut that inhibit other plants from growing around it. But it seems here that that's not really an issue because everything's doing really well. Have you noticed any problems growing under the walnut?
In that back corner a little bit.
Okay.
So those foxgloves haven't done maybe as well as the stuff that's out of the canopy. But this over here has done perfectly well without even with this bit over it. I mean, we do fish the walnuts out whenever we find them. We pick them up pretty well.
What I do like is how you color coordinated your furniture to match the house next door, kind of echoing the color. I actually like that. I think that's a cool color.
It is.
It's a fun color.
It is.
Yeah, it's exactly. Was that by design there?
No, we brought those from Ohio.
Oh, but subconsciously you're like, I know what to do because Scary Harry Gary's coming and he's going to want to see echoed colors from surrounding structures in our furniture. You got the big patio, the slate patio here. Let's go out to the front. The front's really interesting. Cute little potting shed there. Look at that. Isn't that cute? And so tell me about the house, what you know about it.
We don't know much. I actually petitioned the city of Oakland for public records. We do know, I think it was 1912 it was built.
1912, wow.
And it was a duplex at one point, but I think it originally started out as a single family home, converted to a duplex, then converted back again by, I think, the previous owners.
There's all kinds of things that tip you off to the really cool people when you pull up to the house, and I'll tell you what they are. When you look in the window and you see plants like that, you know there's someone cool lives here. And then there's things that sneak out like giant monstera taking over the whole room. So do you consider yourself a plant junkie?
A little bit.
You're getting there?
Plant lady.
Yeah, you're becoming a plant junkie.
I was only indoor, and now I'm moving into outdoor plants.
Nice. So this one here is a fun plant. This is called Ficus pumila. Most ficuses are trees. This one is a clinging vine. It's a really beautiful clinger. It's obviously just really gorgeous. This is the juvenile foliage. Eventually the foliage gets really big and not quite as cute. Obviously it's a beautiful stone fireplace here, a chimney. And it's like, I like the look of both. I like the look of this and I like the look of that. One thing you need to watch is when it starts getting onto the house because it'll tear up the
okay, and the
shingle.
chimney though? Greg is always trying to take it out and it comes back very, very aggressively.
It will literally cover the whole entire house if you let it see.
Yeah.
You do have to kind of manage it a little bit, but it's a beautiful look. Yeah. So and I love the stonework here.
Yeah.
So show me your little plant collection on the porch. This is what I also saw when I pulled up.
So these are just a bunch of ferns and.
This is a Dayun Edule. Yeah.
I know the name.
Yeah, it's from Mexico. It's beautiful. Not many people have this one. It has a beautiful blue color to it. So when people ask you what this is, you're going to say what?
Dayun
Edule.
From Mexico.
Yeah, look at that. Isn't that pretty? And then here's your philodendron. That will get huge if you put it in the ground. And some cool ferns. And you got your stacker. And you know you can mount these up in the air.
Yeah. I was worried about how he was going to do, but he's done really well up here. I think it's this cover of the sun because it's west.
Right.
A little bit, but they're in shade enough that they've done all right.
Bird's nest fern. It's just such a cute little arrangement though with the yellow pots right on the front porch. And you got the yellow popping all over. I don't even know. Do you know the name of this little yellow plant here?
Oh, I did, and now I don't.
I never did. So you're better than me. This is called Berberis. I know that. Yeah. It gets deciduous in the winter. And then Lobelia, Tradescantia, Begonia. It's very, very cute. I love it. Cute little front yard. And what's that wisteria like when it's blooming?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
We finally started pruning it back, and now it's doing even better. Yeah.
So you said you had somebody come back to look at the house that grew up here?
Yeah.
What'd they have to say?
That's how we found out it was a duplex at one point.
And so it was a duplex?
Yeah.
That's
so
bizarre.
he used to live upstairs. So this door, I don't know how it's configured, but there's an upstairs. He would go upstairs and he lived up there, and there must have been a kitchen and everything.
Interesting.
And, yeah.
What's the blue light for?
I have no idea.
It's like, it used to be a police precinct here.
Who knows? I have no idea. The English person lived here before also installed really cool. So there's back this way. See that door?
Oh, that's pretty. Let's look at this. Let's check this out. This is a fun property here. Sorry about the keys, Steve. It's the only way I can't leave. Those look like ginkgo leaves.
They are ginkgo leaves.
Oh, yeah.
And
where's your ginkgo tree? You need a ginkgo.
we don't have one. But we do have
I'm
that
not sure if
lovely
there's
Acer
room.
back there.
I'm not sure if there's room for a game player.
And so he installed
Japanese
a button,
movie.
so you can just on the inside. There's a right in here.
Oh,
there's
nice.
a little button, and you can pop that open from the inside.
What I like about it is it really is kind of like, I dare you to try to jump over my fence. Look at that. I dare you. Do you ever come out here with your grinder and like make them razor sharp? Yeah, that would be tempting to do. All right, you have a huge camellia hedge between you guys. And all these places have little driveways that go down the sides of the house. So that's all hidden away there. And what I really like is this magnolia. What's that like when that blooms?
That's absolutely spectacular.
I bet it is.
It's pink.
Is it pink?
It just rains
It's the classic pink
all
one.
spring. Well, a little bit in like maybe February-ish, March.
I think this is the most beautiful tree that you could possibly have where we live here, maybe in the world, for 2 weeks of the year.
Yeah, well, yeah. And then the rest of the year is just picking leaves
I
up
know.
and picking leaves. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, this one's got a cool
Just
shape.
yesterday, Greg cleaned all this up. There were no leaves on the ground.
Oh, and you got lights through here.
Yeah, well, these are not working.
Little
right
party. Oh, they're not. Oh, well. It was a good idea, though.
Yeah.
All right. And then, let's see, what else can we say? What's fun, too, here is that, look at this old school, really old concrete formwork they did to make it look natural. That was sort of really innovative for the day. And you could just kind of look at the concrete work. You just really know about when it was made. But it's really beautiful.
You can tell?
Yeah, they spent a lot of effort here. I mean, look at the detail. They made the whole thing look like stone. And that was kind of something they didn't do a lot back then. But I really, really like this concrete vintage wall and the boulders. And
I like when in February there'll be moss all over it, and I really like that look.
Yeah, there's a little bit left right here.
Yeah.
So, do you miss Colombia?
Yes and no.
Yeah, what do you miss about Colombia?
The warmth of the people. It's lovely.
Yeah.
The greenery.
So if someone's going
And
to
the
travel to Colombia from here, what would you suggest their itinerary be?
For sure, you got to go Cartagena. I would probably skip Bogota, even though it's on everybody's list. Medellin, and then spend some time in what's called the Eje Cafetero. That's where it's a triangle area where a lot of the coffee plantations are.
Oh yeah.
And it's at 2,000 feet or higher, and you can just do little jumping all over the fincas, the coffee plantations. And
anywhere else?
Yes, the Amazon.
Okay.
With a guide, not on your own.
So,
go ahead to go check out.
but you omitted one really important place to go see.
What's that?
Come on. We talked about it earlier.
We did?
We did.
I don't remember.
The ceiling wax palms.
Oh, yes.
That's the
Corcora.
most important part.
Obviously, yes.
Yeah.
The wax palms.
All right, everybody. You heard it from Patty. First, you need to go see the wax palms, and everything else is secondary, right?
That's right. The most important thing is the wax palms.
All right, cool.
Obviously.
Well, thanks for the garden tours. It's super fun. And it's always fun to see how other people are living and all the cool stuff that they have.